Good afternoon to you. This is Abhay Gupta. I'm the founder CEO of an organization called Luxury Connect Business School. I am part of the fashion committee based out of New Delhi. I will be talking today to you on luxury and phygital experience, the next game changer. So, ladies and gentlemen, uh, allow me to decipher phygital luxury and experience into different terminologies. For example, what are we talking about here? We are talking of two different phenomena. Number one, we are talking of what is luxury. Can we define luxury academically? So luxury, as a generic definition, can be defined as a mindset, a feeling, an emotional connection, and a special bond that an individual enjoys with a product, person, piece of art, and/or object. Secondly, it is important to know that luxury, just like religion and art, aims to elevate people beyond the ordinary and look beyond mere functionality. All of us realize that luxury begins where necessity ends. In the words of Coco Chanel, the very famous definition of luxury given by Coco Chanel is luxury is the phenomena which begins where necessity ends. So, this clearly says that luxury is associated with all the good things in life. Luxury is a taste educator that helps people to rise beyond the intangibles. So when we look at products and or services which take us beyond mere functionality, we get into the domain of luxury. Now, the second part of our conversation is around phygital experience. We need to hence understand what is the meaning of the word phygital. So the idea of combining physical and digital together is what is termed as phygital. Why was this necessitated? So if I take a step back and go into the history of retailing by several decades, then we all know that retailing started as a barter system. It was merely physical. It moved into currency. It moved into malls. It moved into various stores. It moved into various experience when the customer or a purchaser was continuing to do some shopping, which is basically servicing his need. So this need satisfaction was the birth of retail, in which people were going to a particular supplier, experiencing the purchase journey as the final point at the retail store. So all this was happening physically until perhaps the mid 90s, when the Amazons and the eBays of the world came into being. So we all know that the internet, although was in use in the army spaces of the American government since the 70s, but it was opened up to public only in the mid 80s and 80s, and it was only during the mid 90s. E-stores like the Amazon and the eBays actually came in and introduced what is called digital retail. So over the subsequent years, most of us have experienced this shift from physical retail to detailed retail. So it has moved on from not only selling books, but travel bookings to air tickets, to fashion, to footwear, to real estate, to automobile. Perhaps almost all kind of various kinds of retails now happen online, to the extent that we also buy food online, to the extent that I'm also addressing you digitally today rather than physically. So a lot of retail connections have now moved online. Let's fast forward quickly to the pandemic era. More and more digital experiences became acceptable. So somewhere in the early 2010s and the 2013, people realized that when more and more shopping is happening online, we need to work on experience during shopping online. So this improvement of experience on shopping online subsequently moved on to how can we merge digital technology with physical retail. So various technologies were evolved, whereas the digital is offering us various advantages like peace of mind. We don't have to bother about prying eyes. Most of us would have experienced situations where we want to be left alone and we don't want a salesperson talking to us all the time or trying to sell or push something down our throat. So shopping at convenience, browsing and comparing whether various suppliers for the same product are some of the advantages that a digital shopping offers. So what exactly is phygital then? So phygital then marries the advantages of the physical and digital retail. So offline and online environment coming together and offering the best practices of each space is what is called as phygital. The intent always is to try to maximize the revenue generation or the sale of products, etc., etc. So we are basically passing on the goodness of each format to the other format, thereby benefiting the retailer or the brand owner per se. So Phygital Retail has actually lengthened customers' patronage spans into the stores, allowing salespersons more time to understand customers' needs, explain product features in details, and upsell them to other products. So the advantages of digital retail brought to the physical retail by virtue of expanding the touch points and having having more knowledge about the consumer behavior during his purchase journey. Today, research shows that nearly 80% of purchase journey is happening digitally. The last 20% is being spent onto the store, especially when it comes to luxury. But we also need to understand that this kind of a seamless switchover from physical to digital is making the consumer more demanding. Simply because when I'm shopping online, I don't have to stand in a queue. When I'm buying anything online, the initial fears of my credit card information being leaked have now been taken away. And during the pandemic, more and more of us have adopted digital. Post pandemic, people are browsing the internet, looking at the websites, choosing the particular product, completing nearly 80 to 85% or even 90% of their purchase decisions online, moving on to the physical store only for the last point of experience. This is where the pressure is now onto the retailers to ensure that the physical experience is as good, if not same, similar, if not better than the digital retail. Let's quickly try to understand a few important pillars of digital retail. Pillar number one is immediacy. This simply means that everything should happen at that moment in time. Second pillar of digital retail is immersion, which means that now that the customer has already done a whole lot of research about the product and has a lot of knowledge about the product, he's coming to experience the transaction and experience the engagement with a knowledgeable consultant on the floor. The last bit is the interaction. So, as I said, the interaction and the communication on the shop floor has to be as intelligent or as beautiful as it is on digital media. If I give you a very simple example of digital retail, then I'm sure all of you would have heard of the phenomena of Amazon Go. So in Amazon Go, a customer today can walk into a grocery store uh, with empty hands, can pick up whatever he wants from the shelves, put it into the purchase basket, and simply walk away without having to pay. So digitally, the amount of the transaction is debited to his account, and the merchandise is delivered to his home. So in this case, you see that instead of buying from a big basket online, we are walking into a store which is experience center where the product is displayed. You can pick up whatever you want and put it into a virtual basket. From there, it is delivered to your home without even you having to stand in any cash counter. Likewise, I can share a small example of another brand called Rebecca Minkoff, which has taken one step ahead with respect to the phygital experience. So in the Rebecca Minkoff store, a customer can today walk in, can look at the merchandise on display in various colors and sizes on large screens, can choose the particular product that he or she wants. He will then receive a notice to go to a nearby empty trial room where the product has already been put physically. So he is not coming in contact with the product on the shop floor where the product would have been lightly touched upon by various customers as they browse through the merchandise. So a clean merchandise delivered to the trial room, the customer can walk into that trial room, try out the merchandise, and in case he wants to see another color or wants a different size, he can simply text the message from large screens inside the trial room. So that's the kind of a phygital experience that luxury brands have begun to create. Newer models obviously have evolved during the pandemic. The key ones being BOPIS, which means buy online and pick up in store. BOPIS has been an extremely popular model of digital slash phygital retail, where you are not coming in human contact with any particular individual and it is entirely safe. There have been more developments and more brands have been trying to create fulfillment centers in the retail stores. There have been models where zero inventory store models have come up. The this model has come up where you don't even have to maintain inventory, but it's just an experience center with respect to the display. So the touch and feel part of the physical retail can be experienced by the customer, and orders can be placed digitally to be delivered to their respective homes. Luxury has been a very hesitant adopter of the digital medium. This dilemma has been simply because of the fact that luxury traditionally was meant only for the rich. It is no more. Post the 90s, luxury has democratized and it has spread to all parts of the country. So during the era of Web 1, when internet was simply offering more of an information space where we could create a digital brochure by creating a website, uh, in the Web 2, when social media came in, it became a two-way communication. Luxury was a very, very hesitant adopter of Web 2, and they were very wary of allowing everyone and to have access to their merchandise, to their goods, and to their history. Because luxury always believed in creating certain kind of curiosity, certain kind of demand by promoting scarcity. Brands like a Burberry were the first ones to have taken steps to merge physical and digital retail by bringing in very large screens into their London showrooms, creating a digital experience, realizing that the millennial generation active then, majorly active into luxury purchases, was seeking something more digitally. Most people generally during the pandemic, a typical methodology of connecting to a new person digitally has been that you like someone or you meet someone either on a LinkedIn or a Facebook or an Instagram, then you chat up. Once you have chatted up and you've formed some kind of understanding of each other, you moved over to a voice call, followed by a video call. That has been the journey of meeting new people in the past 2.5 years. However, as soon as the pandemic was over, we were all keen to meet people face to face. So the relations that we had formed digitally during the pandemic are getting converted into physical relationships by followed by a face-to-face meeting. Luxury is all about providing a compelling and memorable experience. So by enticing the customer online, the challenge always remains to ensure a similar experience offline. Stores are the final destination, more of a fulfillment center where the brand story has to be enacted by human connect. So eventually, the brands have to adopt this particular phenomenon. The way the web is evolving into the metaverse, where real estate, stores, brands, malls, everything is moving to the metaverse, even to the extent of music conferences. The Amazon Fashion Week, conducted by FDCI, was also conducted on the metaverse. So, metaverse is moving into our lifestyles at a very, very fast pace, and luxury brands have no option but to start experimenting. So, names like a Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Gucci, Nike, they have already accepted this phenomena and have started tapping into the younger consumers using gaming as the entry medium. So a combination of product and experiences is the focus of the current situation. So I would like to end my short note here by saying that the metaverse is a highly dynamic space. More and more investments by brands is going in, and it is believed that we will soon be spending major part of our awake hours on the metaverse. Technology is evolving to a level where the missing links of emotional feeling are also being brought in by technology using various means where one technology can actually prompt another sensation into our body, into our system. So going forward, there is no escape from the physical retail. Today, it is possible for us to order a pizza in the metaverse, and the pizza will be delivered to us physically. So retail customer journey will move from 90 to 95 to maybe even 100% online, and the servicing will have to be done offline. Hence, digital retail is probably going to be a game changer where major shift towards digital adaptation is going to the mainstay. I would be very happy to be of service and value to any of the DLC members. I would like to personally thank Jimmy Mistry, a friend who has invited me to be part of the fashion committee based out of New Delhi. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.